So in this video, I wanted to talk a little bit about bench press. Make an informative video that's kind of comprehensive in the most simple way possible. Because it's something I have as a reference from my clients, just for anybody who really wants to learn how to bench press. So first off, you want to start off with grip width. Well, ideally, you want to grip the bar on a spot where your joints are going to be stacked at the bottom of the lift. And you want them to be even. So for example, if your pinky is going to be on I usually use this ring on the barbell as a reference point. So let's say if I have my middle finger on the ring on one side, I want to have my middle finger on the ring on the other side. So that's going to look like, it'd be something like this. It's kind of low. You kind of see, I first find where my finger is on the ring, and then I will put that same finger on the ring and kind of use that as my point of reference. After you find your grip, you're going to want to set up. So there are two main ways to set up. One is going to be with your feet already planted and kind of pushing your back up against the bar on the setup. What that's going to look like is like this. This is how I prefer to set up. So I'm going to put my feet on him. I'm going to do my traps into the pad, slide up to the pad, and make sure that my feet are flat against the floor. Then I'm going to, same grip, and then unwrap. The other way to do this is with your traps first, and then setting your feet. This is how John Hack likes to set up. So this kind of looks like this. Traps first, then I want to set my feet, and then put my feet flat. So those are the two ways. The main points with your setup are that you want to have two main contact points being your traps and your glutes on the pad. From there, when you unrack the weights, what I like to think about doing is having my chest up and putting my elbows and my shoulders back and down, as well as my chest up. So basically, think about bringing your chest up to the bar. So instead of just unwrapping the weight and being like this, what I want to do is I want to push out my chest as much as I possibly can, and then bring it down into my chest. Basically, what I like to think about doing is bring my chest up to the barbell. Then the last point is going to be the bar path. So you can go over to this side. So a big misconception that lots of lifters have is that the bar path is supposed to be straight up and down. It's actually supposed to be more of a J curve / a slant. So instead of going like this, like that, you want to think about pressing back and up towards your face. So kind of look for something like that. It's not going to be a perfectly straight line. The reason why we want to do that is because it's going to create more leverage. Again, we are setting up with our traps on the pad, push our chest up to create leverage against the bar, to push back and up. Last point in the bench press is going to be a leg drive. So what I like to think about doing is just having leg tension from the moment I set up. And that's why earlier I said I want to put my feet flat against the floor. Even if you do that with your toes up, if you compete in like USPA or Federation where it is allowed, you still want to think about pushing down into the floor with your heels / with your toes. The helpful cue that I use is kind of like a leg extension away from you with that toe, so that sort of feel / kicking forward. Since leg drive is forward and out and not straight up and down. If you press straight up and down and you don't like leg extension it, you're going to have your butt come off. So you can scale right here. This will be the last point. You can kind of see with my legs, I have tension right here. I'm going to set up chest high, So the leg tension, leg it down, leg extension away, and you'll press back and up, cut with the bar path. And so if I was to do straight up and down, what would happen is that if I'm not going to help my bar path go back and up the way that I want it to, it's going to just be straight up and down. What I drive is to just help with the overall leverage.
On and off this tutorial video with a practical example of me executing all of these cues. With just an example of one of my sets today with 270 pounds for a set of 4. So we're going to first see how I set my grip. So first off, I am using I'm setting my grip. What I'm doing right here is I'm making sure that my hands are even. If you go back right here, you can see that when I go back up to the bar, I like to set my right hand on the bar first, find where I grip with my ring, my middle finger on the ring, and then as soon as I find that spot with my right arm, I will then find out with my left arm. And then once I've set my grip, I will do the setup where I will basically set first with my feet placed where I want them to, instead of with my traps first up and down back into the pad. And basically what I'll do after I find that spot, I'll press back up, and I'll have dig my heels into the ground, keep my traps up, back, and my chest high. And then I will keep my chest up. And then when I unrack the barbell, what I do is I will depress and retract my shoulders prior to unracking. So you can kind of see that right there, depressing, retracting, pulling forward, and my chest is high. From this point, I have tension in my legs, and the way that you can tell that is because my arch is maintained, and if you look at my glutes, you can see they are actually flexed, and they're not just sitting there. And you want to keep that from the start of the press until when you re-rack the bar. Then, when I lower down the bar to my chest, I'm thinking of actively pushing in air into my rib cage to help expand my chest to bring my chest to the barbell. This is really important. It's going to help maintain shoulder retraction. It's going to help create a little more stability in the bench press as well. One other point to point out is that when I am lowering down the bar to my chest, I am braking at my elbows first. The elbows are first braking, and they're staying stacked underneath the bar. What that's allowing me to do is have my joints still maintain that stacked position that they would normally have. In general, more stacked joints is going to equal a little bit better force output and transfer, less power leak, which is what we want in the sport of powerlifting, obviously. So once I do that, I'm going to press back and up off my chest with my bar path. It's not going to be perfectly vertical, and you can see right here, if you look at my legs, how I'm using that leg drive to press me back and not just straight up and down. It's going to aid with my bar path going back and up off my chest towards lockout. So just one more time, just going over things with this being half speed. So you're going to see again, I first set up with my grip, find where I want it to be based off of where my joints are going to be stacked when I hit parallel, or at the bottom of the press with my joints and the bar touches my chest. I'm going to depress and retract my shoulders. I'm going to then dig my traps into the bar and use my feet to then create lots of leg tension, help slam my traps into the back of the pad, create an arch in my back. Arching is fine. It's actually what you want. Again, it helps with the depression and retraction of the shoulder blades. It's not unsafe as long as you're having 2 contact points being your glutes and your lower back. Because if you don't have that, then you're going to have a lot of shear stress on your back, which can result in some herniated discs. So make sure that you do that. As soon as I am set, I have tons of tension. You can see right here in my legs. You actually see the point in where I get really, this is, I don't really have a ton of tension yet. And you can kind of see right here. There we go. There's leg tension. I have that ready. And then I'm going to use that leg tension that I've created when I unrack the barbell to help lift the bar off the rack. I'm going to keep that tension. I break out my elbows first, pushing my chest out to the bar, use my leg drive to help assist with the forward and back bar path back and up towards my face. So hopefully this video was helpful. I want to just provide like a practical example of me doing this instead of just like a tutorial. But yeah, hopefully this helps you guys out with your bench press. This is a rather technical movement, but it's a freaking awesome movement and something that you should practice and get more proficient at. My advice is to start off with like 1 or 2 cues and then work from there.
So that was a pretty quick video on how to bench press. Hopefully this helps some of you guys. If you did like it, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.